ladies and gentlemen. Unit 3, Note 7 is on multiplying binomials. This is probably one of my favorite sections in this whole unit. So I'm going to ask you to pause here and write all of this down. It's a lot, so take your time and pause. Okay, hopefully you paused it and you're back with us now. FOIL method. So we multiply the first terms, the outside terms, the inside terms, the last terms. So that's where FOIL comes from. First, outside, inside, last. Then you combine any like terms and you put it in standard form. Remember, standard form is highest exponents first, all the way down to a constant. Box method is draw your box, line up each binomial on the side, multiply the terms in the box, write out the terms, combine the terms in standard form. All right, so let's put this to action so you understand like what you wrote down. So we're going to practice first FOIL. So we're going to multiply the first term. So this is looking for the first two terms in the inside both the parentheses. So x times x gives us x squared. Then it says multiply the outside terms. So now these are the two outside terms. So I have negative 4x. Okay, then it says inside terms. So these are these two inside terms, minus 1x. And then it says the last. So you're going to multiply the last two terms inside each parentheses. Negative 1 times negative 4 turns into a positive 4. And then it says combine like terms. Well, if you look here, your like terms occur in the middle. So you have x squared minus 5x plus 4. And the last is to make sure it's in standard form. And this is, it's x squared is first. That's the highest power. So there's our answer. So this is what it looks like in FOIL. Let's go ahead and practice one in box method. All right, box method, we are going to draw our box, and I'm going to actually do it off to the side here. So we draw a box, and we split it up into 4 quadrants. It says line up each binomial on the side of the box. So I have x plus 2, so I'm x and a positive 2. Okay, then on the side, x and a positive 5. So now we're going to multiply the terms into the box. So if I look at my first box here in the upper left corner, I have an x and an x. So that's going to be giving me x squared. And then I'm going to multiply this x times the 2. So I get a 2x. Now I'm going to take my x on the top and multiply it by my 5. And I get 5x. And then I'm going to multiply my 5 and my 2, and I get 10. So it says write out the terms. X squared, it's a plus 2x because it's positive. It's a plus 5x because it's positive. Plus 10. Combine like terms. So here we have like terms. So we get x squared plus 7x plus 10. And there, it's in standard form because our x squared is first. So that's looking at both methods. From here on out, you can choose which method you like to do better, box method or FOIL. Both will get you the same answer, and so it doesn't really matter to me which one you use. I like FOIL method. That's what I grew up with, so I might tend to lean towards that more, but I'll try and do both for you. All right. So if I look at my first one, I'm going to take x times 2x. So I get 2x squared. Remember, the coefficients get multiplied and the powers get added. I'm going to multiply my outside. So I get 1x. I'm going to multiply my inside, and I get 2x. And I'm going to multiply my last. So 1 times 1 gives me 2. I have like terms here, so I get 2x squared plus 3x plus 2. This is in standard form. It generally lends itself to writing automatically into standard form. All right, I'm going to do box method with my next one. So I have x minus 1 and x minus 3. Now, somebody might be thinking, does it matter which one I put where? It doesn't. You could write x minus 1 down and x minus 3 on top. Those will both work. All right, so x times x, we get x squared. X times negative 1, so negative 1x. X now on the top times negative 3, so negative 3x. And then my constants, negative 3 times negative 1, turns into a positive 3. Some of you might be able to combine your like terms from the box and not need to write them all out, and that's just fine. Some of you will feel that you should write them all out. just so you don't lose anything. So we get x squared minus 4x. Notice when I combine those like terms, I'm not doing anything to their powers. So there you have it. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Actually, I'm going to ask you guys to, oh, did I miss it? I jumped and I did 3 and 4. We did all of them. All right, good. Okay, so multiplying binomial squared. So you cannot multiply a binomial squared. You cannot just square both terms. You have to multiply the binomial times itself. Because when we talk about squaring something, it means multiply it by itself. Pause if you're not done writing here. All right, so squared. What that was saying is I cannot just do this. So if you ever have like a plus or a minus inside your parentheses, you can't do that. You need to think about it this way. I'm going to cross out my squared and write x plus 6. Now I can just do FOIL or box method, but don't distribute that squared piece. So you get x squared, you get plus 6x, plus 6x, and 6 times 6 gives us a 36. So 6x plus 6x are our like terms, so we get 12x plus 36. All right, I want you guys to pause the video and see if you can try out number 6 here. All right, take a look there. Hopefully you got the same. I showed out some work. I just did FOIL, but if you did box method, you'd end up with the same 4 terms. All right, so if we're multiplying more than binomials, you're gonna, you don't need to write that top part, just really write down this part. You must use the box method. So this is when it's more than just a 2-term and a 2-term. So if we see here, we have a 2-term and a 3-term. So a binomial times a trinomial. So instead of a box, I'm going to actually draw a rectangle. So I have 3 terms on top, 2x squared minus 5x plus 3, and my 4x plus 9. And now I just follow the same idea. 4x times 2x squared, I get 8x to the third. 4x times negative 5x, I have a negative 20x. It's really important that you're watching your positives and negatives here. And 4x times 3, I get a 12x. All right, now I'm going to start with the bottom row. 9 times 2x squared gives me 18x squared. 9 times negative 5x, I get a negative 45x. And 9 times 3, I get a 27. If you don't have that all written down, go ahead and pause it. So I'm going to write all my terms out. And here's the thing. Generally, when you have, oh, I think I missed something. That should have a squared on it. Thank you. Okay. Generally, when you're looking at these, your diagonals tend to be your like terms. Not always, but tend to. So if you look here, these are like terms. Not always, but usually. So I have 8x cubed minus 2x squared when I combine my 18 and my negative 20, minus 33x when I combine my negative 45 and my 12, and then a plus 27. All right, I'm going to give you guys some pause, and I want you guys to try number 8, okay? Try number 8. All right, take a look there and see if yours is the same. If it's not, go ahead and pause and take a look back to see what work may be different. All right, then we see here we have a 3 by 3. So I'm just going to pick one of these to do together. So here I'm just going to draw out a big square with 3 by 3. All right. This is going to be my most organized to help me. Now, some of you might say, can't I just distribute everything? That's totally fine. Just make sure that you're really cautious with all of your terms. It can get a little messy sometimes. All right, so let's go in. 6y squared times y squared, 6, ooh, that's not a good color. 6, is that better? I hope so. Y to the 4th. Okay, I'm going to take my negatives, or my 6y squared times my negative 2y. so negative 12y cubed. 6y squared times 5, so I get 30y squared. All right, I'm moving to my second row. Negative 3y times y squared gives me negative 3y cubed. Negative 3y times negative 2y turns into a positive 6y squared. And negative 3y times positive 5 gives me negative 15y. Last row, it's times 1, so everything is just the same. Y squared, negative 2y, plus 5. All right, lots of terms to combine here. My 6y to the fourth has no like term. Negative 3y and negative 12y gives me a negative 15y cubed. Oof, we have a 1y, 6y, and a 30, so 37y squared. Negative 2 and negative 15 gives me a negative 17y, and then plus 5. Now, don't add all those up. Those aren't like terms. Leave them as they are. All right, I'm going to ask you to pause and do number 10. All right, and there you have it for number 10. Okay, then 11, the area of a triangle is half the product of the base times the height. Write a polynomial expression that represents the area of the triangle. So 1/2 base, which is 2x plus 3, times my height, which is 3x minus 1. So I'm going to multiply my binomials before I worry about multiplying by the 1/2. So I'm just going to do FOIL. 2x times 3x, I get 6x squared. 2x times negative 1, so negative 2x. 3 times 3x, I get 9x. And 3 times negative 1, I get a negative 3. Now I have like terms here, so I'm going to combine those. So 1/2 6x squared plus 7x minus 3. All right, so with this one, you have a couple options. You could write, you could leave it like this. You can distribute it in and get 3x squared plus 3.5x minus 1.5. That works. Either one or both acceptable. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks.